A warm welcome and good evening to Dr. Mohammed Yunus Yassin, President of Association of Science, Technology and Innovation, ASTI, Mr. Anandan Shanmugam, Project Director of Young Inventors Challenge 2022 Special Edition, all the Working Group Committee members of YIC 2022, all the mentors, teachers, participants and viewers. Thank you very much for joining us today for the first online training of YIC 2022. Before we go any further, let's look at some background information about Young Inventors Challenge 2022 Special Edition. YIC requires teams of up to 2 to 5 members to put their minds together and come up with an invention. The purpose of the program is to build and encourage the creative and inventive capability of young people. We started this program in 2013 as a pilot where 12 teams participated from 12 schools, and the response has been remarkable ever since. We have been growing almost exponentially with over 150 shortlisted teams participating every year from Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, Thailand, Philippines, Timor-Leste, India and Brunei. This year, YIC 2022 marks our 10th anniversary and the theme is Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, where we hope to see inventions that can cause a positive change and create more sustainable future for all. ASTI had launched YIC 2022 Special Edition on the 30th of March and we have received over 400 registrations from 9 countries including Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, Thailand, Philippines, Brunei, South Africa, India and United Kingdom. If you are interested, you can still submit your registration. This year, the Young Inventors Challenge Working Group Committee has decided to conduct 2 online training for all the registered teams before proposal submission, and we are here today for the first online training. Our training today will be focusing on Introduction to YIC, Inventions, Innovations and Sustainable Development Goals. Without further ado, I would like to invite our first presenter for today, Mr. Anandan Shanmugam, Project Director of Young Inventors Challenge 2022, to provide insight about YIC, Inventions and Innovations. Mr. Anandan has been serving the Project Director for YIC since its inception, and he is also a lecturer and instrumentation systems developer with 20 years of experience in teaching engineering and electronic subjects, system interface, special purpose medical product and instrument development, reliability and renewable energy management systems. He is also serving as a consultant in green energy materials and devices. Let's welcome Mr. Anandan Shanmugam.
A very good day to everyone. Thank you for listening in. This is our part of our training that we publish to all to students as well as participants of YIC. And this year marks the YIC 2022. My name is Anandan, and I shall briefly explain what ASTI is as well as what YIC is all about, as well as the process of participating and inventing in YIC. And then I shall wrap up the talk by discussing what is the difference and what is invention, as well as its difference to innovation. And we shall also cover some examples of design thinking by showing you some designs. At the end of this session, you should understand who and what ASTI does, understand the background of YIC, be able to understand YIC 2022 Special Edition, get to know the flow of YIC, as well as understand what is invention, the difference with innovation, and what is design. The Association of Science, Technology and Innovation is actually an association of fellow friends, including educators, scientists, and engineers who are committed to advancing the role of science in community and inspiring the youth. ASTI also tries to use science, technology, and innovation in order to protect the environment and to advance mankind in general. ASTI was set up by the founders. We initially started a program called Science Fair for Young Children. Those founders came together and formed ASTI on the 25th October 2012. We, as an organization, ASTI runs many projects. There are various projects. They are listed here. A few among them are Science Fair for Young Children, Young Inventors Challenge, and Creative and Critical Thinking Camp workshops. You may find us on our webpage and participate in any one of the programs that you find suitable to you. Today, we shall concentrate and talk about Young Inventors Challenge. 2022 marks the 10th anniversary of Young Inventors Challenge. This is a special edition. We have been running special edition during COVID for the last 2 years, and this is our 3rd year, and also a significant year marking the 10th anniversary. Let's look at some introduction remarks about Young Inventors Challenge, and also look at how far have we grown over the last 10 years. Young Inventors Challenge aims to encourage especially secondary school students between the age of 13 to 17 to experience the merits of teamwork and come together to find innovative solutions to everyday science-related problems. Okay. YIC debuted in 2013. That was our first year when we ran the pilot program. And since then, the program has grown steadily with an almost 100% growth annually. Each year, ASTI would invite secondary schools in Malaysia as well as in other countries of ASEAN to submit their proposals on innovative solutions as well as inventions. The proposals are received and reviewed and shortlisted. The shortlisted teams undergo ASTI's in-house online training. The young inventors are then given about 4 months to develop their projects, after which they are invited to exhibit their work at the grand finale. So this whole process takes about 9 months, from February to October or November of each year. The phenomenal participation has seen growth, okay, especially among international schools from Philippines, Thailand, Indonesia, Singapore, Brunei, Vietnam, Timor-Leste, India, and China. So we started very small and now we have gone to international level. In 2017 to 2021, YIC received international recognition from the Malaysian Ministry of Education. YIC has also managed to get into media at national and international newspapers and television news. Young Inventors Challenge project has been shortlisted for the Reimagine Education Award in London, UK. Let's look at the main objectives of YIC. There are three main objectives. The first and foremost objectives is to give opportunities to young adults to learn and train themselves to invent. The other aim is to train young inventors to develop their mind towards invention, as well as to help young inventors to experience the inventive process firsthand so that they can come together and actually do a work where they submit a working concept or prototype as a solution. Let's look briefly at the history of YIC. We have been running this for 10 years, and the last couple of last years, YIC 2020 and YIC 2021 are called special editions due to they being conducted online due to COVID. Okay. The themes running through the various years denote a common thread underlying this, that we would like students to come together, form a team, and find solutions for the benefit of the planet, benefit of the community, and benefit humankind in general. Let's go and dive deeper into the YIC processes. Okay. We start off each year with team registration. Normally this happens in February, March. So students form teams and then they register themselves online at www.yist.org.my. Once they have registered, they will be notified through email of their next steps. And their next step is to get the team and propose a 5 to 6 pages of a proposal as a submission of their idea and the solution that they're trying to solve. Okay. Once all proposals have been submitted, the central judging team of YIC shall come together and vet it and look at those proposals and mark them through. And this normally happens in May. After this process of marking by the judging panel, shortlisted teams will be announced officially around end of May or early part of June. Now that's a bit of introduction and background to YIC. Let's look at what are innovations, inventions, and what are designs. Actually, if you look at history and time, we are not standing still. The modern world transits. We have moved the years through different types of economies. Economy or activity and economy is the bread and butter of life on this planet. So over the many hundreds of years, we have moved from an agriculture-based economy towards an industrial-based economy, and now we are in the midst of moving into a knowledge-based economy. These transitions are driven by innovations. If you notice that in all these activities, they are doing the same thing. This is related to agriculture, but the way they do, the method and the tools they are using are different. And these are due to innovations. And such innovations are driven by science and technology. So they are beneficial. They can help us to solve a lot of problems. But we need inventors and young minds to look at those solutions in a better way. Innovation helps us to get from the source to the customer in the best and efficient ways in more than what we can think of. Okay, let's look at an example on how the arrow shows on how we get food to the supermarket from the place where they grew the vegetables. And along the way, we harvest them, we store them, we preserve them, we pack them, we carefully do in order for the products to reach the consumers. All along this way, innovations are involved. So what is innovation? Let's look at some examples. Hand phone, a camera selfie stand, a peculiar type of tissue paper holder where you can wear them as an hair, as a helmet, a stroller where you can also glide or stroll along. These are examples of innovations. So innovations are products that we have and we make them better. So the starting idea is already there. We either combine them or enhance them to make them better. The action or process of innovating involves making changes, making alterations, transforming from one to another. The process of innovation involves metamorphosis. Along with all this process also involves breakthroughs. As we change, as we alter, as we transform, as we metamorph, we will also break through. Innovation can be a new method, idea, or product, or any other benefit that is derived out of science, technology towards processes and products. Okay, let's look at some examples of what some innovations are. There are thousands of examples. Let us just show a few so that it kindles your thinking and so that you can see, oh, simple items can also be innovated. We can also invent. We can also become innovators. Okay. A plastic container that keeps hot water to have half-boiled eggs. Okay. Trolleys where we make sittings or something carryable for babies to sit along. Okay. Any type. Okay. Stands for teapots, for example. As long as the product has a need and it helps, innovation will keep coming. Who are then the inventors? Well, inventors are people who create new stuff, new things, new products. And these are the people who are also driving innovations. What is the single most different characteristic of inventors? It's the way they think and look. Okay. When all others are looking in one direction, they look at a totally different direction of view. They have a new perspective at how to solve things, and this gives them an edge. You and me as well can train ourselves to have such perspectives. A broadly categorized view of what needs to be invented. Let's look at this diagram. Okay, what are the main criteria for a product to stand as an invention? Okay, first we must think whether do you want it. Okay, if it is yes, and then we look at an item of the solution, do they have it? And it is no. If a product doesn't, if people want a solution and it's not in the market, then it's great time to invent. To be an inventor, you have to be different. You have to find the right problem to solve. You have to break the pattern. You have to break the rules. You have to grow the solution. So it's a long journey, but it can be triggered with a spark. To be an inventor or innovator, one of the key items that we follow is to practice design thinking. What is design thinking? We have given some examples of what design thinking is. Instead of starting with a problem, design thinkers start with a solution. We think of a solution. Instead of trying to seek to understand the problem in detail, we start to seek to generate better solution. We look at what is the gap. We look at what will work. We try to create and see what is available, what will do better for the future. So if you keep training yourself in design thinking, a lot of new innovations will come. Let's explore a bit deeper in design thinking. Combining the possibles and the desirables to solve a problem using a design will give us most probably an innovative solution. Okay. First of all, we can have a base product and then we can start combining them and making new product or new processes that will be more beneficial. Okay. Along the way, we also use design to innovate. We want to solve the problem. For example, this is not the only solution, but as an example, to have water scarcity, we must be able to contain water in clean bottles and containers. So if you have purified and clean water, they're easy to be distributed. So water bottles are an innovation by itself. It could be a simple idea. Design thinking also involves where we innovate using design. Okay, example. We have invented wheels, we have chairs. If there is a way that we can put them together, it will become a rotating wheel or a wheelchair. There are many other examples, so let me show one or two. Okay, these are fun or a bit quirky type of design as well. Anything that has a desirable effect and solves problems definitely deserves a thinking and a solution and an innovation by itself. For example, cups or salt cups or coffee cups, they will leave a mark at the bottom. If we can innovate those, okay, that means change the design at the bottom. So the mark that they leave will form a pattern, and this may be a desirable solution. Let's look at some examples of inventions. Okay. The first one, there are thousands of them, so we are just going to pick one or two. Talking cone. Talking cone uses a proximity sensor and an audio speaker to warn away unwary pedestrians when they step too close to a slippery floor or cracked tiles, or an overhead danger. Beware, slippery. So they are not just cones, they are talking cones, and they are helpful. Another example, lemon slicer. Okay, restaurants needs to have a way to dispense fresh lemon slices. So instead of cutting lemon manually, so a container that helps to slice as well. So you get fresh slices. Another example of an innovation is the non-spill cup. Many of you have seen this. It's a wonderful invention. Okay, great for the babies. It's no spillage, and it allows babies to have liquids in the best safe way possible. Okay. Those are some of the examples that I'm sharing with today. I hope you'll walk with us into our journey of Young Inventors Challenge and continue with your inventive idea and processes. I hope that you will be able to participate and benefit others as well as yourself. Thank you very much for your valuable time.
Thank you, Mr. Anandan. Moving on next, I would like to introduce our second presenter today, T.S. Dr. Umayal Munusamy, who will be talking about Sustainable Development Goals and how you can relate your inventions to the theme of this year's YIC. As part of the proposal, you are required to explain how your invention ideas are relevant to Sustainable Development Goals that you have identified. T.S. Dr. Umayal Munusamy is a plant scientist by profession, a writer, and a science communicator by passion. She writes and works in the area of plant science. Dr. Umayal has spent many years of writing in journals, proceedings, books, book chapters, online articles, and scientific display at science art galleries. Dr. Umayal is an affiliate member of Young Scientist Network under Academy Science Malaysia, YSN-ASM. Dr. Umayal was listed as a future leader from 100 countries by the Global Solutions of World Summit Forum for her contribution in creating awareness on Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. She has received a number of awards in research, academic, and science communications. She has trained various professionals to write and communicate scientific concepts with a range of audience with a tagline, "All scientists can communicate and write beyond their borders." Let's hear from T.S. Dr. Umayal Munusamy.
Hello everyone. My name is Dr. Umayal Munusamy, and today I'm here with you to carry out a training on a Sustainable Development Goal for YIC competition. Actually, Sustainable Development Goal, or also known as SDG, is actually driven by the United Nations. And they have come up with 17 global goals. Probably by now, most of you knew at least 5 out of 17 global goals within your fingertips. Let me share with you all the 17 global goals. They are no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation and infrastructure as SDG 9, reduce inequalities, sustainable cities and communities, SDG 12, responsible consumption and production, climate action, which all of you might know by now, life below water, and also life on land. And our SDG 16 is peace, justice, and strong institution. And finally, SDG 17, partnership for the goals. So basically all these 17 global goals actually was selected by United Nations to drive a sustainable future to all of us. Okay, so in this Young Inventor Challenge competition, your role is actually to first identify the problem that you're going to solve. So how do you want to identify the problem? Probably you might like certain industry or certain sector. For example, in my case, since my background is in agriculture, so I always will try to look out what are the problems or challenges that is being faced in agriculture sector. So when I identify the problem within the agriculture sector, I will try to come up with a solution. And that solution and that invention actually will focus to specific SDGs related, such as, for example, for agriculture, let's say any invention that will solve the problem in agriculture sector, the SDG that you're going to achieve is no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, probably decent work and economic growth, depends on what type is your invention is, and also industry, innovation, and infrastructure. Let's move on to technology sector. Let's say some of you are looking into to solve problem in a technology sector. So probably your invention will focus the achievement of SDG 3, SDG 4, 8, 12, and probably SDG 13. So it's all depends what type of invention you are producing, and your invention will actually help to overcome what type of challenges or problem that you have actually identified in the beginning stage. So same goes to communication sector. Let's say you are very keen to, to solve problem or challenges that you have identified in the communication sector. So your invention actually can help the achievement of SDG 3, probably 4, 8, 9, or even 13. It's all depend on what type of invention that you are producing actually. Let's say your invention actually closely related to energy and utility. So the specific SDG that you're going to achieve is probably clean water and sanitation, okay, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation and infrastructure, or probably you're going to achieve the goal of climate action, because your invention is related to energy and also utility, so which is really close to the climate action. So when you see, before that, let's go to the next slide. Okay, even in the next slide, you can see, for example, oil and gas. Let's say you are solving challenges or problem, which is actually you found in a oil and gas sector or oil and gas industry. Okay, probably your invention will actually support the goal of no poverty, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, SDG 8, and also climate action. So sometimes, as you can see in the first slide, okay, this is the first slide, second slide, and also in the third slide, some of the SDG are overlapping. Okay, you can see climate action for various sectors. Okay, so it's overlapping. So it can happen in your invention. Probably the invention between group A and group B will target or support the goal of same SDG. So it might happen like that. So you don't have to worry. It doesn't mean that your invention will only support one specific global goal. It can be, but it also can support more than one SDGs. Okay. All right. So let's look into a few examples of invention that was carried out by some inventors that are outside there. Okay, for example, let's look at SDG 5, gender equality. Okay, actually gender equality is the goal is to achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls. So some of the invention is, for example, that we have highlighted is For Good program and also Hippo roller. Let's dive into what is Hippo roller and how it can actually help in gender equality. So Hippo roller actually is a portable barrel-shaped drum container which can actually replace a bucket. Okay, women can actually use this Hippo roller to carry water from one corner to their house. So it will ease them to do their tasks at home. Okay, they can just roll the bucket, roll the drum back from where they collect the water to back to their home. So this is how this hippo roller actually helped in achieving the goal of gender equality. Let's see an example for SDG 7, which is affordable and clean energy. So we have biodiesel. Probably many of you know biodiesel, because biodiesel is type of energy which is available to all of us, okay, poor or rich, okay, it will available for all of us, and it is affordable by many of us. And we also have microgrid and liquid metal batteries, okay. It's cheap, it can be purchased by everyone. So that is why it's actually supporting affordable and clean energy. And for example, for SDG 8, okay, SDG 8 basically for decent work and economic growth, okay. So we have inventions such as Box, Data Science Africa, and also EcoCar. So all of us know that EcoCar is a type of invention that actually use less energy, and also it release low carbon emission, okay, that can be considered as a invention. It helps our environment. It will also sustain our climate, okay. So it is type of invention that actually supporting decent work and economic growth. But this EcoCar actually also can support the climate change because it's produce lower carbon emission. So you see, one particular invention actually can support SDG 8, which is decent work and economic growth, and how it also can support the goals of climate change, okay, climate action. So that is how you have to think about whether your invention will focus only one SDG or more than that. So you have to really think creatively to identify what are the SDG that your invention will support. Okay, so let's go to SDG 9, which is industry, innovation and infrastructure. We have electric bus, and electric bus also can support climate action. Okay, so it's not only will support SDG 9, but they also support climate action. Okay, we have mission 1.5 and also electric bus. Okay. Meanwhile, in SDG 10, which is reduce inequality, we have inventions such as the other bar, the Perquis tree, and also mobile application. So all this invention that was highlighted here is only probably 2% of the invention that we already have outside there. Okay, so this particular invention actually will reduce the inequalities within the country and also among the countries. Okay. Meanwhile, in SDG 11, which is sustainable cities and community, we have smart city, we have smart home, we also have a robotic arm. So all these invention actually will make cities and human settlement inclusive, safe, and sustainable to everyone and forever. When we are utilizing the word sustainable, it's forever and ever. It's not only today or tomorrow, but it's forever and ever. So inventions such as smart city, smart home, and robotic arm can be utilized forever for sustainable purposes. And for SDG 12, which is responsible consumption and production, we have OpenSC, okay, which it is a tech-enabled platform that promotes sustainable production and consumption of certain commodities. So this invention actually will ensure sustainable consumption and production pattern. And we also have other inventions such as cradle to cradle. Let's see in SDG 14, okay? So in SDG 14 is all about life below water. So type of invention that we highlighting here is Smart Fin and also YLabs, okay? So YLab is actually a platform to resolve conservation issues through technology, okay? It brings together community expertise from different countries to actually collaborate and come up with a solution where they can actually conserve certain animals, okay, for our younger generation or for our upcoming generation. And for SDG 15, which is life on land, actually the invention that is targeting or supporting this SDG 15 will actually protect, restore, and promote sustainable use of ecosystem. And it will also sustainably manage the forest, okay, and reduce the degradation of biodiversity loss. Such inventions, they are drone, we have camera traps, or DNA analysis. Why DNA analysis actually will support life on land? Because if we have this tool, actually we can study the characteristic or phenotypic of all the living organisms on the land, and we can actually preserve them. We can actually retain them forever for our upcoming generation. And we have SDG 16, which is peace, justice, and strong institution. So any project or any app that promote peaceful and inclusive society will actually support SDG 16. Why? Okay, all this invention for this particular SDG is why I choose all this invention and this particular SDG is because this is a most challenging SDG and most challenging invention that all of you might be facing. So let's say you wanted to achieve the goal of SDG 16, probably you can come up with the inventions such as mobile application to actually promote peaceful, justice, and strong institution within the country or among countries. Okay, so you can come up inventions such like that. And finally, for SDG 17, partnership for the goal. So you can also come up with any app or any technology or platform that actually strengthen, okay, the implementation of the global partnership among different countries. So all this invention actually will somehow support the partnership for the goals. So this is how you must come up with the invention that actually supporting the global goals. Because we want to, in this day, we want to ensure that all the inventions are supporting the global goals, so that besides coming up with the invention, we actually also ensuring that the global goals that it was already set by the United Nations are moving forward. Let's see example from our past YIC participant. Okay. So we have hook and loop pod. We also have smart safety helmet. We have pin dot. Okay, pin dot actually is for people who have visually impaired. Okay, usually we have braille, but this is braille printers. Okay, for them to actually use this particular printer to print their document. Okay, so this is actually reduce inequality. Why we are targeting this invention actually targeting reduce inequality? Because everybody can type. Okay, everybody can actually prepare a document between whether you are impaired or not. So that is how you are reducing the inequalities actually. And then we have iRecycle, we have YIC, okay. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. So all these invention actually, all these inventors have identified what are the SDG that they are supporting. For example, iRecycle are actually supporting 2 global goals, okay. Global goals SDG 12 and also SDG 13. So it's good if you can able to identify more than one SDGs, okay. So try to think creatively and see how can your invention actually supporting more than one global goals. And there are another type of inventions such as warm patrol. We have eco-friendly paper and also smartness. So all these invention actually, all of them have a different characteristic. And even though they have different characteristic, many of them are supporting similar global goals. Like what you can see from the first invention, this one, warm portrait and also eco-friendly. Actually, they are supporting SDG 13. So, and SDG 12. So both of these invention, even though they have a different characteristic and different description, they are supporting the similar global goals, similar SDGs. So this is how you need to think about how could your invention can support different variety of SDGs. That is what actually we wanted you to identify and look into it. Okay, so let's watch some of the YIC invention videos. Okay.
We came up with our new idea, iRecycle, a mobile app that provides recyclable materials pick-up service and motivates more people to recycle by implementing a novel gamification system. If you have some recyclable materials, you can just press the button here to call the recycle truck to come and collect your materials. Once the workers arrive, they will weigh all the recyclable materials and enter the weight of each category into the system. The system will process and calculate the points you get. Now, you can use the points you get to exchange the products in our shop. For example, food and beverage coupons, transportation tickets, green products, and so on. Besides, there's also a leaderboard system for you to view your friend status and compete with your friends.
Worm Patrol is an automated worm bin aimed to stimulate the natural living condition for worms and houses using IoT technology. It allows the user to monitor the condition of your worm bin, and it also provides alerts based on collected data for maintenance.
Our project is called Blind Assist Sensory Suit, or in short, BASS. And it is an innovative product that assists the blind and the visually impaired individuals maneuver around obstacles when they are moving from their current location to another.
Okay, that's all on the video. Allow me to stop share. Okay, with that, what I would like to highlight here in this online training one is, first, what you have to do is to select which are the sector that is very close to you, or probably is your favorite sector, whether it's agriculture, whether it's communication, whether it's oil and gas. So identify the sector that is close to your heart, and then look for the problem or challenges that is faced by people in this particular sector. Okay, when you're able to identify the challenges in the particular sector that really close to your heart, come up with the invention. Your invention actually is the solution for the people in that particular sector to use and to make their life easy. Okay, and then you can able to identify what are the SDG that your invention are supporting. Okay, so these are the things that you must keep in your mind when you are participating and enrolling into YIC competition. With that, I would like to end my presentation with thank you and best wishes. And I'm really, really looking forward to see all your invention. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Dr. Umayal. I hope all of you had a good session today, and we strongly encourage you to take note of all the information shared for your proposal writing. If you have any question, do drop us an email to yic2510@gmail.com. I repeat, yic2510@gmail.com, and we will revert back to you the soonest. Thank you for being a great audience. Hope to see all of you in our next training session. I'm Teacher Linga, your moderator today, signing off. Thank you very much.